It was supposed to be just another casual afternoon in Atlanta, but what went down between Momma Dee, Shakira, Jasmine, and Shirleen had the entire love and hip-hop Atlanta fanbase spiraling into chaos. Picture this. The cameras are rolling, the sun is dipping low over the city, and the air is thick with tension you could slice with a butter knife. Momma Dee, draped in her trademark fur and glittering from head to toe, isn't just sipping tea, she's spilling it, loud, unfiltered, and aimed straight at Shakira, whose face shifts from polite smile to full-on disbelief in seconds. Just as Shakira is about to clap back, the door swings open and in glides Jasmine, not alone, but arm in arm with Shirleen, looking like they've just walked out of a war room and straight into enemy territory. Gasps ripple through the room. Fans are shocked. Shakira freezes, Momma Dee raises an eyebrow that could cut glass, and Shirleen, she's smirking like she knows a secret everyone else is about to find out. In that instant, you can feel it. Alliances are about to crumble, old wounds are about to be ripped open, and the family is about to be left more divided than ever. And trust me, what happens next will have you questioning loyalties, friendships, and even blood ties. The room was thick with a silence that felt almost dangerous. The kind of quiet where you know everyone's just waiting for the first spark to hit so the whole thing can go up in flames. Momma Dee sat back in her chair, tapping her long, manicured nails against the glass in front of her, each click echoing like a countdown to war. Shakira, sitting across from her, kept adjusting her hair, pretending to be calm, but her jaw was tight, her eyes darting toward the door as if she could feel something coming. And then it happened, the slow creak of the hinges, the flash of light from the hallway, and in walked Jasmine, with Shirleen right beside her. It was like watching two storms collide. The tension spiked instantly. Jasmine's eyes scanned the room, locking on Shakira with a look that could burn through steel. Shirleen didn't even bother with pleasantries. She just slid off her sunglasses and smirked. Momma Dee leaned forward, lips curling into a sly smile. Well, look what the wind blew in, she said, her voice dripping with mock sweetness. Shakira's chair scraped back as she stood, her hands flat on the table. This isn't the time, and it's definitely not the place, she said, trying to keep her tone level, but it cracked under the weight of her emotions. Jasmine laughed, not the kind of laugh that means you're amused, but the kind that says, I've been waiting for this. Funny, she said, stepping closer. You didn't think it was the wrong time when you were running your mouth about me last week, did you? Momma Dee raised an eyebrow, clearly enjoying the show. Shakira's cheeks flushed. That's not what happened, and you know it. Shirleen cut in before she could say more. Sweetheart, everybody knows what happened. You've been talking reckless, and now you're acting brand new because you're caught. The air felt like it was vibrating with anger. Someone coughed nervously from the crew in the corner, but no one dared to intervene. This was reality TV gold, and they all knew it. Momma Dee took a slow sip of her drink, savoring the moment. I told y'all, she said, shaking her head. You can't play messy and expect it not to get messy back. Shakira's eyes glistened, whether from rage or humiliation it was hard to tell, but her voice rose as she turned on Momma Dee. You've been instigating this from the start. You sit there, pretending to be neutral, but you love this drama. You live for it. Momma Dee leaned back, her laugh low and dangerous. Baby, I don't live for drama, drama lives for me. Jasmine stepped closer, close enough now that the space between her and Shakira was paper thin. You've been running your mouth about my business, about my man, about my family, and now you want to play victim? Shakira stood her ground, though her voice was trembling. Your business isn't exactly private when you're out here acting reckless in public. The moment the words left her mouth, you could almost see the fuse burning toward an explosion. Shirleen's eyes widened, and she glanced at Jasmine like she was silently saying, oh, she didn't just go there. Jasmine's voice dropped, quieter but more dangerous. You better watch what you say, because once it's out there, you can't take it back. The room was so quiet now that you could hear the ice melting in the glasses on the table. And then, without warning, Momma Dee clapped her hands together, the sound making everyone flinch. All right, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right. No half-steppin'. Shakira, tell her what you told me word for word. Shakira shot her a death glare. You're not about to put me on blast for something I didn't even say like that. Jasmine's eyes were locked on Shakira now, unblinking. So you're calling Momma Dee a liar? The question hung in the air like a loaded weapon. Shakira opened her mouth, but no sound came out. She knew that answering either way would blow up in her face. Shirleen folded her arms, her smirk returning. That's what I thought. Shakira turned away, running a hand over her forehead like she was trying to steady herself. I'm not doing this, she muttered, starting to head toward the door. But Jasmine wasn't about to let her walk away unscathed. Oh, you're doing this, she called out, her voice sharp enough to cut through Shakira's retreat. You don't get to talk trash, stir the pot, and then act innocent when the pot boils over. Momma Dee tilted her head, watching Shakira pause at the doorway. Baby, you can leave if you want, but just remember walking away doesn't make the truth go away. Shakira turned back, eyes blazing now. You want the truth? Fine. The truth is, half the stuff y'all think I said came from somebody else, but you're too busy trying to make me the bad guy because it's easier than looking in the mirror. Jasmine's mouth opened to fire back, but for a second, the words didn't come. Shirleen stepped forward, breaking the silence. Careful, Shakira. That mirror you're talking about? It's got a way of showing more than you want to see. Shakira shook her head, the frustration boiling over. You know what? Forget it. Believe whatever you want. Just remember who was there for you when nobody else was. With that, she turned to leave again, but just as her hand touched a doorknob, Jasmine's voice rang out, low and cold. Oh, we remember. We also remember how quick you switched sides when it benefited you. The door didn't open. Shakira froze, her back still to them, and you could feel the tension wrap around the room like a vice. Momma Dee was grinning, now, sensing that the real fireworks were just getting started. Looks like we're not done here after all, she said, her tone almost playful. Shakira's hand stayed on the doorknob, her knuckles turning white, but she didn't turn around. Right away, you could almost hear her breathing, heavy and uneven, like she was trying to decide if she should just walk out or turn back and unleash every secret she had been keeping bottled up for months. The pause was long enough to make everyone lean forward just a little, as if they were watching the final seconds before a glass shatters on the floor. And then, slowly, she turned. Her eyes were sharp now, stripped of the fake calm she had walked in with. You want to talk about switching sides, Jasmine? She said, her voice steady but laced with venom. Let's talk about how you've been sitting up in Shirleen's ear one day, and the next you're running to Momma Dee, spilling all her business like you're some undercover informant. Jasmine's head tilted slightly, like she was deciding whether to laugh or explode. Cute, real cute. But the difference between me and you, Shakira, is when I say something, I can back it up. Shakira took a step closer, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor. Back it up? The only thing you back up is when you realize the mess you made is about to come for you. Shirleen's eyes narrowed. Girl, you better watch yourself. You don't even know the half of it. Momma Dee, meanwhile, was practically vibrating with excitement. She had both hands clasped under her chin, looking like she was front row at the most entertaining play in Atlanta. Oh, baby. I know. Y'all didn't think you could have this conversation without me hearing every detail. Shakira's focus shifted to her. And you don't think I don't see what you're doing? You've been feeding both sides just enough to keep the fire burning. Why? Because without the drama, you don't have control. The crew in the corner exchanged glances. This wasn't the usual petty shade, this was the kind of accusation that could blow open the whole dynamic. Momma Dee leaned forward, her tone low but dangerous. Sweetheart, I don't have to create drama to have control. People give me that without me lifting a finger. Jasmine, catching that, smirked. Exactly. So if you're in the hot seat, Shakira, maybe it's because you put yourself there. That was it. The crack in Shakira's composure finally split wide open. Put myself there? No. Y'all put me here because it's easier to turn me into the villain than admit y'all been stabbing each other in the back for years. Her voice was raised now, filling the room. And since we're all being honest, Jasmine, why don't you tell Shirleen about the little meeting you had with Erica last month? You remember? The one where you swore her to secrecy? The air seemed to suck out of the room. Shirleen's eyes snapped to Jasmine. What meeting? Jasmine's lips pressed together for a moment before she answered. It wasn't like that. Like what? Shirleen's voice was sharp, and her smirk was gone now. Because if you were me, you. Shakira crossed her arms, satisfied that she had finally turned the spotlight away from herself. Go ahead, Jasmine. We're all waiting. Jasmine took a deep breath. Erica reached out to me. She wanted to talk about some things. She heard about the reunion taping. I didn't think it was a big deal. Shirleen scoffed. Not a big deal? That's exactly how these things start. You feed one person a little bit of info, and next thing you know, the whole city's talking. Exactly, Shakira said, leaning in. And you wanted to talk about switching sides? Please. Jasmine's hands curled into fists at her sides, but her voice stayed level. I didn't switch sides. I was looking out for myself because I know how quick people will turn on you in this group. Momma Dee chuckled. Oh, baby, in this group, you're either turning or you're getting turned on. Ain't no middle ground. The tension was palpable now. Shirleen was staring Jasmine down. Shakira was practically glowing from the chaos she had just unleashed, and Momma Dee was basking in the mess like a queen surveying her kingdom. But just when it seemed like the energy might settle into an uneasy standoff, the sound of a phone vibrating on the table broke the moment. Everyone looked down. It was Jasmine's phone. She glanced at the screen, and the blood drained from her face. Shakira caught it immediately. Who is it? Jasmine hesitated, then flipped the phone over so the screen was hidden. Nobody. Nobody doesn't make you look like you just saw a ghost, Shakira shot back. Shirleen's voice was icy now. Who is it? Jasmine didn't answer right away, which was all the answer Shirleen needed. Oh my God, Shirleen said, shaking her head. It's him, isn't it? The same person you swore you cut off months ago. Momma Dee's eyebrows shot up. Now this is getting interesting. Jasmine's mouth opened, but she didn't deny it, and that was enough to send the room spiraling again. Jasmine's silence was like blood in the water. It sent everyone into a frenzy without a single word spoken. Shakira's lips curled into the slowest, most satisfied smirk she'd worn all night. I knew it. You out here pointing fingers, talking about loyalty, and the whole time you've been creeping around with him. The way she said him, stretched out, laced with accusation, made the room buzz. Shirleen took a step back, her hands on her hips. So you have been lying to me. All that talk about how you were done with him, how you were focused on yourself, how you were healing, and you've been answering his calls? Jasmine finally snapped. I never said I answered, but the defensiveness in her voice was as loud as a confession. Momma Dee, leaning forward like she was about to pull popcorn out of her purse, chimed in. Baby, you don't have to answer for that phone to ring, but you sure had time to flip it over quick, didn't you? Jasmine's eyes darted toward her, then back to Shirleen. It's not what you think. Then make me think something else. Shirleen shot back. Because right now, it's looking like you've been playing everybody, him, me, even yourself. The air between them was thick enough to choke on. Shakira stepped in closer, circling like she could smell victory. And here I thought I was the messy one. At least when I'm in something, I don't lie about it. Jasmine whipped around to face her, her voice sharp as broken glass. You are always in something. Don't act like you've got the moral high ground here. Moral high ground? Shakira laughed, a short, bitter sound. Please, the only thing high about you is your ego. Shirleen put up a hand between them. No, this isn't about her right now. This is about you, Jasmine. I've been in your corner when nobody else would give you the time of day. I've defended you, even when people told me not to. And you've been sneaking around with someone you swore was toxic? Jasmine's eyes softened for the first time all night. I wasn't sneaking. I was trying to figure out if I could make peace with it. Shakira groaned loudly, rolling her eyes. Girl, call it what it is. You went back to your ex, and now you're trying to dress it up like some spiritual journey. Momma Dee's laugh burst out, deep and rich. A spiritual journey to the same bed you said you'd never lay in again. Now that's a sermon I'd watch on Sunday morning. Jasmine's voice cracked, not with weakness but with fury. You think you know everything, Shakira, but You don't know what I've been through with him. None of you do. It's easy to sit here and judge when you don't have the whole picture. Shirleen shook her head, disappointment etched all over her face. Then give me the whole picture. Jas, right now. No edits. No excuses. The cameras caught every twitch in Jasmine's jaw, every blink as she weighed whether she could trust anyone in this room with the truth. Finally, she let out a shaky breath. He called me a few weeks ago, said he was in trouble, real trouble. The kind you can't just ignore. And she trailed off, looking down. I went to see him. A collective gasp rippled through the crew and the cast. Shakira clutched her chest in mock shock. You went to see him? As in face to face? Jasmine nodded once. Shirleen's voice was low, almost a whisper. Why didn't you tell me? Because I knew exactly what you'd say, Jasmine replied, her eyes lifting to meet Shirleen's. And I wasn't ready to hear it. I wasn't ready to walk away again. Momma Dee shook her head slowly, like a queen disappointed in her subjects. And there it is. The truth always comes crawling out. Baby, sometimes it just takes a little push. But before anyone could respond, Shakira's phone lit up on the table. Every head turned toward it. She glanced down, then tried to slide it into her purse without anyone noticing. Shirleen caught it. Oh no, we're not doing that. Who's calling you? Shakira froze, her eyes flickering between them. It's nothing. Funny, Jasmine said with a bitter smile. That's exactly what you just said to us. Shirleen snatched the phone off the table and glanced at the screen. Her eyes went wide. Oh, hell no, you've got to be kidding me. She turned the phone toward Jasmine and Momma Dee. The name glowing on the screen was the same one that had just called Jasmine. Gasps filled the room like gunfire. Momma Dee slapped the table, grinning. Now this is a plot twist. Shakira lunged for her phone, but Shirleen pulled it back. So you've been talking to him too? This whole time you've been throwing stones. You're standing in the same glass house. Jasmine's shock was so real she actually stepped back. Wait, you're in contact with him too? And you came at me like I'm the problem? Shakira's voice rose. It's not what it looks like. No. Jasmine shot back. It's exactly what it looks like. Momma Dee leaned back in her chair, eyes sparkling. Baby, y'all about to make me cancel my dinner plans. I'm not going anywhere until I see how this ends. Shakira's voice cracked under the weight of the room closing in on her. It's not what it looks like. He called me first weeks ago before I even knew he was reaching out to Jasmine. Jasmine's laugh was bitter and sharp, bouncing off the walls like shrapnel. Oh, so now you're the innocent one? Please! You've been parading around here acting like you're above it all, when you've been sneaking around with the same men you just roasted me for. Shakira took a step forward, eyes blazing. I didn't sneak. He called me about something serious, something that could ruin a lot more than just his life if it got out. Shirleen folded her arms, her voice dripping with disbelief. And what exactly could be so serious that you couldn't tell anyone? Because right now, it just sounds like you're making the same excuses Jasmine made word for word. Momma Dee's eyes darted between them like she was watching the best tennis match of her life. Y'all better tread lightly, 'cause this tea is scalding. Jasmine shook her head, her voice trembling with a mix of rage and disbelief. You really had the nerve to sit here and watch me get dragged for this, knowing you were doing the exact same thing. That's not just shady, Shakira. That's snake behavior. Shakira's lips curled in a defensive sneer. Don't act like you wouldn't have done the same thing in my position. I wouldn't. Jasmine snapped back. Because I'm not stupid enough to think you can play both sides and not get burnt. The room was electric now, each word sparking off the other until it felt like something or someone was about to break. Shirleen stepped between them, her voice raised to cut through the noise. Enough. Both of you have been lying. Both of you have been hiding things. And while y'all have been busy playing games, he's been sitting somewhere laughing about how easy it was to have you both on the hook. Shakira turned to Shirleen, frustration dripping from every syllable. You think this is a game too? Me? You have no idea what's really going on. Then enlighten us. Shirleen shot back. Because unless you tell me something different, I'm walking out of here thinking you're just as guilty as she is. Momma Dee leaned forward, practically whispering like she was telling a bedtime story. Oh, we're about to get a confession. I can feel it. Shakira's shoulders dropped, the fight momentarily leaving her. He told me something about the reunion. Jasmine's head jerked up. The reunion? What about it? Shakira hesitated, glancing at the cameras like she was weighing if this was worth the fallout. He said, someone's been feeding him information from inside production. Someone close to all of us. And he wanted me to help him figure out who. Jasmine's brow furrowed. Why you? Because, Shakira said, pausing for dramatic effect, he thinks it's one of you. The silence that followed was deafening. Shirleen took a step back, her face unreadable. You're saying he's using you to spy? Shakira shook her head. No, I'm saying he's using both of us. Jasmine blinked, her mind racing. So all those calls, all those meetings, they weren't about him trying to get back with me. Shakira's voice was almost pitying. Sweetheart, he was never trying to get back with either of us. He was setting us up. The room erupted in overlapping voices, everyone trying to speak at once. Shirleen turned away, pacing in tight circles like she needed to burn off the fury building in her chest. Momma Dee clapped her hands together once, loud enough to command silence. Oh, honey, if that's true, then this man is smarter than both of y'all put together and 10 times messier. Jasmine's voice dropped to a whisper, almost to herself. I can't believe I fell for it again. Shakira gave her a hard look. Believe it, we both did. For a long moment, the four women stood there, the fight drained out of them and replaced with something colder: betrayal. The kind that doesn't just sting, it reshapes the whole battlefield. Shirleen finally stopped pacing, her voice calm but deadly. If he's playing all of us, then we need to flip the script. No more fighting each other. We take him down together. Jasmine looked skeptical, but the fire in her eyes was shifting. You really think we can pull that off? Oh, baby, Momma Dee said, her grin returning. If there's one thing this group can do better than fight, it's plot. Shakira's lips curled into the faintest smile. Then let's make sure the next time he tries to play us, he's the one getting burned. The camera zoomed in on each face, the tension still high, but now laced with something different. A dangerous alliance forming in real time. Whatever happened next, it was clear the chaos wasn't over. In fact, it was just getting started. And just like that, what started as an afternoon of finger-pointing, shade-throwing, and explosive accusations twisted into something none of them, not even Momma Dee, saw coming. The air in that room still felt like static, charged from every word, every look, every revelation. Shakira and Jasmine stood on opposite sides of the table, still wary, still bruised from the hits they'd landed on each other. But there was a flicker of something in their eyes now, the grudging recognition that maybe, just maybe, they'd been played by the same man all along. Shirleen's jaw was set tight, her gaze locked forward like she was already planning the first move in whatever this new alliance was going to look like. And Momma Dee? Oh, she was in her element. She leaned back, crossing her legs with the smug satisfaction of a queen who'd just watched her court turn on a common enemy. Oh, baby, she purred. This next chapter is gonna be one for the books. But as the cameras faded out, questions still hung in the air like smoke after a fire. Was this alliance real? Or was it just a temporary ceasefire until the next betrayal? Could they actually work together without turning on each other first? And most importantly, what was the endgame with the men who had managed to outmaneuver them all? One thing's for sure, fans are already buzzing, sides are already being chosen, and the streets of Atlanta are about to see drama like never before. If you think tonight was explosive, you haven't seen anything yet. And now it's your turn. What do you think is really going to happen when these four women face him? Will they stick to the plan, or will old wounds pull them back into war with each other? Drop your theories in the comments below, because we want to hear every wild prediction. And don't forget, hit that like button if you were living for the shade, the twists, and the chaos tonight. Subscribe so you don't miss the next messy chapter, because trust me, when this story picks up again, it's going to be bigger, badder, and even more jaw-dropping. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 13, and the best is yet to come.